Hello, Rick Gratz. We're back with some more Buffalo Sabres franchise mode in FHM 12. And in this one, we are going to go through the playoffs of year number 4. We finished 51-29-4 on the regular season, finished second in the division right behind Detroit. We are going to the playoffs with a full bill of health here. We have nobody on the injury list. And we're going to hope that Devin Levi can get back to his early season form, as later in the season, he did not do so well. He had games where he was in the 800 save percentage, even a couple of instances where he was in 700s. But that being said, this team knows what to do. We've done it before. We won the Stanley Cup last season, so we're going to hope to repeat here this season, starting out against the Florida Panthers in game number 1 of round number 1. Here we go. Same game. That will be a 4-1 Buffalo victory. There you go. Shots are 39-22 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars of the game are Greenway, Evans, and Lehkonen. First period, you have Ostlund scoring from Greenway and Evans to make it 1-0. Second period, Benson scores unassisted to make it 2-0. Evans scores with his first of the game from Lehkonen and Greenway. And then you have McKenna from Helenius and Dahlin to make it 4-0 before Linus Eriksson scores for Florida's first goal to make it 4-1 heading into the third period where there's no scoring. And so with that, we have a 1-0 lead in the series. Let's head into game number 2 and hope for more of the same. And that'll be a 7-3 Florida victory. First ugly game of the playoffs. Shots are 32 apiece. 3 stars of the game for McAllister, Rinzel, and Moroz. First period, Hanzek and Bennett score for Florida to make it 2-0, but that's Benson from Beryoskin and Faber to make it 2-1, and then Greenway unassisted makes it 2-2. Heading into the second period where it's Moroz with the goal to make it 3-2, but then it's Tage Thompson with his first of the playoffs from McKenna to make it 3-3, and then Ryan McAllister makes it 4-3. Heading into the third where it's all Florida as Rinzel, Hanzek, and Eriksson make it a 7-3 Florida victory. All right, here we go into game number 3. It will be a 2-1 Buffalo victory. Very nice. Shots are 28 apiece. 3 stars of the game are Helenius, Bork, and Thompson. First period, Tage Thompson with the goal gets us started from Helenius to make it 1-0. Heading into the second period where there's no scoring. And in the third period, Maverick Bork with the goal to make things tied at 1. And we head to overtime where Maxim Beryoskin gets the goal from Evans and Helenius to make it a 2-1 victory and a 2-1 lead in the series for us. All right, here we go into game number 4. Can we take a 3-1 series lead? Yes, we can. We win 3-2. Very nice. Shots are 54-39 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. 3 stars of the game are Greenway, Lundell, and Levi with the 949 save percentage. And it looks like this one went to overtime. As in the first period, Sam Bennett scores first to make it 1-0, but then it's Noah Ostlund from Lehkonen and Nuchev to make it 1-1, heading into the second period where there's no scoring. Third period, you have Sam Rinzel with the goal for Florida to make it 2-1, but then it's Jake Evans from Greenway and Beryoskin to make it 2-2. We head into overtime where Jake Evans gets his second of the game with the assist from Greenway and Beryoskin to make it a 3-2 victory and a 3-1 series lead. All right, here we go. Elimination game 5 versus Florida underway. And we have our first goal of the game. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be Florida. Yes, indeed. That is the first goal of the game for them, as Tucker Robertson gets the goal to make it 1-0. We have another goal here. Looks like it might be for your Buffalo Sabres. Yes, indeed. Let's go. We're tied at 1 halfway through the first period. As a goal by Ostlund from Lehkonen and Doan. And here's another one. Here's another goal. Oh, we have a face-off. Is it going to be for your Buffalo Sabres? Is it going to be for Buffalo Sabres? Yes, it is. Very nice. Goal for Tage Thompson from Marino and Dahlin to give us a 2-1 lead late in the first period. And now we're heading to the second period up by 1. Oh, we have a goal. Come on, Buffalo. Come on, Buffalo. Come on, Buffalo. Oh, I'm not looking to look at this. And yep, that is a Florida goal. Jason Robertson from McAllister to make it tied at 2. Late goal in the second period here. Late goal in the second period, and that's going to be a goal for Florida. And they're up 3-2 now. Ryan McAllister with his second of the playoffs from Bork and Barkov. And we're heading into the third down by 1. Come on, Buffalo. Get this game tied. Get this game tied. Yes, let's go. Josh Doan with the goal, his first of the playoffs from Ostlund and McKenna to make it tied at 3 early in the third period. Shots are relatively equal as well. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Oh, no, that's not good. That's not good. That's a goal with 7:12 remaining for Florida. As a goal by Maverick Bork from Hanzek and Jones. Puts them up. Come on. Oh, wait. Last minute goal. Is it going to be in the empty net? Yeah, that's going to be an empty net goal for Florida. And it looks like they have this one 5-3 on the goal by McAllister, his second of the game. And yes, indeed. So we go to 6. Shots at 47-40 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars of the game are Bork, Ostlund, and McAllister. All right, game number 6. Let's end it right here. Do not push game 7. Come on, Buffalo. Get that first goal of the game. And we have a scoreless first period. I'll take it, but we need that first goal here in the second period. Oh, here we go. Is it going to be for Buffalo Sabres? Yes, it's looking like it. Yes, it will be. Very nice. The goal by Nuchev from Faber and Oslin to make it 1-0. And we have another one here. Looks like it might be Calgary. Yep, that's going to be a goal for Calgary. Halfway through the second period. It's now 1-1. Goal by Barkov from Mikola and Robertson. And here's a goal late in the second period. It looks like it's going to be Calgary. Yep. Oh boy. Jason Robertson with the goal. Makes it 2-1. And we're heading to the third period down by 1. Come on, Buffalo. Do not push 7. Do not push 7. They're taking it to 7th, aren't they? Wait, hold on. We have a goal. Is it going to be... It's going to be Calgary. It was looking like it was going to be for your Buffalo Sabres there for a second. We were carrying it the other way, but then we had a face-off, and then Calgary won the face-off, and into net it goes as Sam Rinzel with the goal. Makes it 3-1 with 5:43 remaining. And we have another one. Looks like it's going to be Calgary. Yep. Oh, boy. That's a 4-1 lead for the... wait, have I been saying Calgary this whole time? Florida. I meant Florida. I was just looking at the colors. I saw orange and yellow and I thought Calgary. And okay, to be fair, I was recently messaging with the Calgary GM of the SSHL, so I guess it's another part of why I thought it was Calgary, but yeah, that wouldn't make sense, would it? That would have to be the Stanley Cup Finals. Oh well, it stays. The mistake stays, but nonetheless, it is now 4-1 Florida. So that is a 4-1 Florida victory, and we're going to 7. Shots at 34-29 in favor of Florida. 3 stars of the game are Robertson, and Barkov. So the 2 Robertsons there. All right, come on. Game 7, round 2 on the line. Come on, Buffalo. Get off to a good start. Come on, Buffalo. There it is. All right, I'll take it. We're up 1-0 to start the game. We have the goal by Ryan McLeod from Josh Doan to make it 1-0. And we're currently up 10 shots to 2, so we're certainly outplaying them up to this point in the game. Let's continue that. Come on, guys. Oh, that's going to be icing, I believe. Yep, that's a goal for Florida. And the goal for Lundell from Samoskevich and Eriksson to make it tied at 1 halfway through the first period. And here we have another goal. Is it going to be Buffalo? Yes, it is. Very nice. Number 4 with the goal, I believe, on the power play to make it 2-1 as Bowen Byram from Marino and Helenius with 5 minutes remaining in the first period. And here's another goal. Looks like it's going to be Florida. Yep. So we're now tied at 2 late in the first period as the goal by Marchand unassisted. And we head in the locker room tied at 2. Is it going to be a 3-2 game now? Goal by Florida. Yep. Come on. Linus Eriksson with the goal. Makes it 3-2. And that's early in the second period. Still got plenty of hockey to go, but we got to get the next one here. Come on, Buffalo. Get this next one. Yes. All right. We're tied once again. Zach Benson with the goal from Nuchev and Evans. And is now tied at 3 with 15 minutes remaining in the second period. And here we have another one. Basically right off the faceoff. And wait a minute. All right, we have another faceoff here. All right, there we go. We have a lead. 4-3. Nuchev from Lehkonen gives us the 1-goal lead. Come on, boys. Get that next one. Get that next goal in the third period. We're up by 1, but we cannot stop here. Come on, Buffalo. Yes, let's go. It's now 5-3 with 14:59 remaining in the third period, and Maxim Buryaskin with the goal from Dahlin and Faber gives us the 2-goal cushion. Come on, hold this lead. The last goal, empty net. All right, there it is. Yes, all right. Good job, boys. Good job. Goal by Marino from Evans and McKenna into the empty net gives us the 6-3 victory, and we are moving on to round number 2. Thank goodness. Shots are 40-31 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars of the game are Marino, Nuchev, and Dahlin. And now, oh boy, we face in the second round the 62-20-2 Detroit Red Wings. So Levi, I know he kind of struggled in that series, only a .902 save percentage. Gonna need him to step up here against Detroit because it's not gonna happen any other way. All right, here we go. Game number 1 against Detroit will be a 5-2 Buffalo victory. There you go. We're starting out the series on the right note. Shots are 36-31 in favor of Detroit. 3 stars of the game are Dahlin, Ostlund, and Beryaskin. First period, Chinakhov scores first for Detroit to put them up 1-0, but that's Lehkonen from Ostlund and Dahlin to make it 1-1. Heading in the second period, where it's Ostlund from Beryaskin and Evans, and then Greenway from Dahlin and Faber to make it 3-1, but that's Raymond on the power play to make it 3-2. Heading into the third period, where it's McKenna from Morrow and Benson to make it 4-2, and then Beryaskin into the empty net from Byram makes it the 5-2 victory in game number 1. Oh no. Tage Thompson injured, and looks like it's a major injury. Okay, mild hamstring day to day. Okay, that's not too bad, but it's still 1% injury. He can't play until further notice. So yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, here we go. Game number 2 against Detroit will be a 3-0 Detroit victory. Oh boy. Shots are 42-26 in favor of Detroit. 3 stars of the game are Pradell, Mazur, and Bolduc. First period, no scoring. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Chinakhov, Holtz, and Mazur with the goals for Detroit to give them the 3-0 victory and a 1-1 series tie. Here we go. Game number 3 will be a 4-2 Detroit victory. Oh boy. Shots at 33-25 in favor of Detroit. 3 stars of the game are Bolduc, Doan, and Branzak Nygaard. First period, Chinakhov scores from Detroit to make it 1-0. Second period, Branzak Nygaard scores, and then it's Holtz to make it 3-0. But then 13 seconds later, it's Ostlund from Doan and Marino to make it 3-1. Doan from Ostlund and Marino to make it 3-2. And then in the third period, it's Carter Mazur with the empty net to make it a 4-2 Detroit victory. All right, here we go. Game number 4. Do not lose this game. All right, there's a 3-1 Buffalo victory. There you go. Shots are 33-32 in favor of Detroit. 3 stars of the game are Ostlund, Raymond, and Doan. First period, no scoring. Second period, Doan gets us started from Ostlund to make it 1-0, and then it's Raymond to make it 1-1. Heading into the third period, where it's Hellenius with his first of the playoffs from Ostlund and Morrow, and then it's Doan into the empty net from McLeod and Ostlund to make it a 3-1 victory. And we're now tied at 2 in the series. And that's exactly what we needed, because now I think at this point, Thompson is available to come back to the roster. He's not fully healed yet, but he can play, right? He's at 80%, so he might be able to play in this upcoming game. And it looks like he will indeed be in on the third line with Lehkonen and Greenway. So here we go. Pivotal game number 5 will be a 4-1 Buffalo victory. Let's go. Shots are 40-25 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars of the game are Nuchev, Marino, and Hellenius. First period, Beryaskin with the goal from Nuchev and Evans to make it 1-0. Second period, you have Nuchev with the goal from Byram and Marino to make it 2-0. Raymond on the power play makes it 2-1, but then it's Hellenius on the power play from Benson and Dahlin to make it 3-1. Heading into the third period, where it's Doan from Ostlund and Hellenius to make it a 4-1 victory and a 3-2 lead in the series against the 62 win Detroit Red Wings. Come on, Buffalo. Just one more. We get past Detroit. All right, elimination game number 6. We have 2 opportunities to win, but let's not use both of them here. Let's just end it right here on home ice. Come on, Buffalo. Get things started. All right, that's a face-off. And that's going to be a goal for Detroit. David Gucciardi with the goal. Makes it 1-0. And that is a scoreless first period for your Buffalo Sabres. So we're down by 1 heading into the second period. Here we have a goal. Is it going to be Buffalo? Is it going to be Buffalo? Come on, Buffalo. Yeah, there you go. There's our first of the game. And we're now tied at 1. Ostlund with the goal, his 6th of the playoffs from Doan and Evans. We are now tied in the second period, and it seems we have another one. Come on, Buffalo. Come on, Buffalo. Yay. All right. We're up 2-1 now. Hellenius with the goal from Benson and Dahlin. And we have another one. That's like back to back to back. Come on. Come on, Buffalo. Yes. Let's go. Marino with the goal from Lehkonen and Greenway. And we're up by 2. And here we have another one in the second period. Is it going to be the Detroit Red Wings? Yes, it will be. So it's now 3-2 as Gunler with the goal cuts the deficit to 1. And we have yet another goal in the second period. They just keep happening here. But this time it's for your Buffalo Sabres as Ostlund with the goal, his 2nd of the game from Doan and Morrow. And we're up by 2. And that is it for the second. And we're now heading into the third. Come on, Buffalo. Hold this lead. Get me one more. Please. Yes, let's go. And that is a 5-2 lead for your Buffalo Sabres halfway through the third period. Arturi Lehkonen with the goal from Evans and Dahlin. And we have a comfortable 3-goal lead. And that can be it. Oh, we have one more here. It looks like it's going to be for Detroit's. Yes, indeed. All right, so it's 5-3 now with 1:51 remaining. Zach Bolduc with the goal. Will that be it? No, hold on. We have one more. Is it going to be the empty netter? Yep, it will be. Very nice. And we should have this one all but wrapped up as Gavin McKenna with the goal from Benson and Evans on the empty net. And we advance to the third round. Let's go. We beat the 62-win Detroit Red Wings. And that's got to feel good. That's got to feel good after the struggles that we had late in the season, especially going to 7 games against Florida. Now we managed to take care of the 62-win Detroit Red Wings, and that was a great performance. I mean, obviously, at times, goaltending has been shaky during these playoffs, but you know what? We got it done. We're headed to the third round. Shots are 40-23 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars a game are Dahlin, Benson, and Doan. Oh, new achievement, upset. Win a playoff series against a team that finished ahead of you in the regular season, and that was quite the team to get that achievement against, too. And now, here in the third round, we have the 40-38-6 Montreal Canadiens. I mean, don't let the record fool you. They're here for a reason, right? That said, let's get right into it. Against the Montreal Canadiens, game number 1 will be a 7-3 Buffalo victory. Let's go. Shots are 26-19 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars game are Benson, Dahlin, and Ostlund. First period, Zach Benson gets the first goal from Helenius and McKenna, but then it's Caulfield and Brindley to make it 2-1, and then it's Byram to make it 2-2 from Marino and Doan, but then it's Zarovsky for Montreal to make it a 3-2 heading into the second period where it's all Buffalo as McKenna from Dahlin and Benson, Evans from McLeod and Ostlund, Berjaskin from Faber and Ostlund, Lehkonen unassisted, and then Helenius on the power play from Benson and Dahlin makes it 7-3 heading into the third period where there is no scoring, and we have a 1-0 lead in the series. All right, here we go into game number 2. It will be an 8-2 Montreal victory this time. Shots are 29-23 in favor of Montreal. 3 stars a game are Demidov, Jasinner, and Hudson. First period, you have Ostlund with the goal getting us started from Greenway and Marino, but then it's Pettersson to make it 1-1 heading to the second period where it's Demidov, and then Benson from Helenius and Dahlin to make it 2-2. But from there on out, it is all Montreal, as Zarovsky with the goal makes it 3-2 heading into the third period as Hudson, Suzuki, Pettersson, DeBrincat, and Hage, or Hage, however that's pronounced, get the goals to make it 8-2 in favor of Montreal. We're now tied at 1 in the series. All right, here we go. Game number 3 will be a 3-0 Montreal victory. Oof. Shots are 21-17 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. We barely got anything in that game. 3 stars a game are Caulfield, Suzuki, and Pettersson. First period, no scoring. Second period, Caulfield with the goal makes it 1-0. Third period, Caulfield with another one, and then Pettersson with the empty nets makes it a 3-0 Montreal victory and a 2-1 lead in the series for them. All right, come on, guys. Game number 4. We cannot afford to lose this one. Sim game, that will be a 6-3 Montreal victory. Oh, shots are 33-28 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars game are Brindley, Caulfield, and Kanyushkov. First period, Ostlund scores first. He's the only goal in the first period from McLeod and Doan to make it 1-0. Second period, McKenna scores from Benson and Byram, and then Ostlund again from Lehkonen and Marino. You're saying we gave up a 3-goal lead all in the third period? Oh boy. I don't like to see it. You do not like to see it. Suzuki, Krebs, Zarovsky, Pettersson, and then Brindley twice into the empty net, short-handed as well, makes it a 6-3 Montreal victory all in the third period. Oh, that was easily a winnable game. We should have had that. We should have had that game. That was, yeah, there's no excuse for that one. We were in control of that game for throughout the entire first 40 minutes, and then Montreal just all of a sudden 6 goals in the third period. Ugh. You do not like to see it. Not what you see out of a typical defending Stanley Cup champion. And we have our backs against the wall here, headed into game number 5, and we're going to need to win 3 in a row here. All right, here we go. Elimination game number 5. Come on, Buffalo. All right, that's a scoreless first period. I'll take it, but we need to get that early goal here in the second period. All right, here's the first goal of the game, late in the second period, and it looks like it's going to be Montreal. Yes, indeed. Krebs with the goal. Our former player comes back to bite us. He makes it 1-0 late in the second period. Come on, third period time. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yep, it's not looking good. Elias Lindholm with the goal makes it 2-0 early in this third period. And Ryan McLeod with an injury. That's just great. Come on, guys. Late third period comeback. No, it's not happening. We get shut out, in fact, as the Montreal Canadiens beat us in the third round. Shots are 26-20 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars game are Fowler with the shutout. Benson and Krebs, our former player. So maybe we should have kept Krebs. I don't know. But unfortunately, that will be it for our run this year. So before we advance ahead, let's take a look at the playoff stats. You have Ostlund in 18 games played with 20 points. He really carried the offense here, as the next players after him are Benson and Doan with 12 points. Yeah, you can't exactly be relying on Ostlund for everything there. I'm glad we didn't trade him, because he's certainly proven to be a key part of our team these past 2 seasons. But yeah, that's not great. That is not great. Then you have Helenius and Dahlin with 11 points. 10 for Marino, 9 for Bryaskin, McKenna, and Lehkonen. I expect a little bit more out of McKenna at this point. I mean, I know he's young, he's 21 still, but he's already got that 4-star talent, and he had 66 points during the regular season. I kind of expect him to step up a bit more at this point. You have Greenway with 8 points, Evans with 7, Nuchev and the other Evans with 6, 5 for Byram and Faber, 4 for McLeod. I expect a little bit more of McLeod offensively as well. That's in fact, that's not nearly enough over the course of 18 games. Then you have Thompson only with 3. Ooh. Only with 3 goals in 14 games played for Tage Thompson. And then Morrow with 3 as well. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good for Thompson. I mean, he did well last year, right? 22 points in 23 games played. But the problem is, the issue I'm seeing here is that the year before, he only had 1 goal and 1 point in 7 games played. And then now this year, 3 points in 14 games played. That's not exactly what I like to see. Not very consistent so far in the playoffs. He had 1 good run, and then that was sandwiched in between 2 basically ghost runs for him, as far as he's concerned. He's a 4.5-star ability player. You know, you got to play like it in the playoffs. Yeah, it's a bit concerning. That's a bit concerning. And at 31 years of age, too. So I'm not saying trade Thompson, but he is coming up on the last year of his contract here. So depending on what he wants on his extension, that may be something worth considering, especially if we can get something really nice back, you know, because he's at the point in his career where he's prime trade bait, right? He is prime trade bait. But obviously we would be sorely missing him during the regular season. He does fantastic during the regular season, especially last season, 63 goals. But during the playoffs so far, only 1 really good performance that was sandwiched in between, like I said, 2 runs that were, he was essentially invisible. Oh boy. That's really unfortunate from Thompson. And then in net, Levi in 18 games played with the 900 save percentage. So Levi, obviously, he could have done much better. But I don't think the loss against Montreal is entirely on him, because, I mean, besides Ostlund, a lot of guys offensively underperformed. A lot of guys, especially, obviously, Thompson, McLeod as well. And while McKenna did all right, I kind of did expect a little bit more out of him than just 9 points. So, yeah, it was a very underwhelming playoff performance, especially towards the end there. So what to do? Well, I mean, I guess obviously at this point, there's nothing else we can do except advance and see who wins the Stanley Cup. But the offseason is, well, depending on what Tage Thompson wants on his upcoming extension, we might have to have a difficult decision to make about his future on this team, because that's 2 out of 3 playoff runs where he's been essentially invisible. I mean, then again, Thompson was on the 4th line for the majority of it, because he was injured, right? And he still is sort of, yeah, he's still sort of, I guess I understand. I forgot about the injury. So I guess we hold on to Thompson, but still the offense in general this past playoffs was really underwhelming, besides Ostlund. Basically, that's it. He was the only one who, you know, did what I expected him to. And then obviously Levi as well. You know, Levi was not great himself. So just a lot of things that did not quite line up for these playoffs, unfortunately for us. And, you know, 2028-29 Stanley Cup champions are the Minnesota Wild. They beat Montreal. The Stanley Cup playoffs winning goal was scored by Jacob Quillen. They went through St. Louis, Utah, Edmonton, and Montreal. And now it's time for the awards ceremony. For the Ted Lindsay, it's Connor McDavid with 61 goals and 104 points. For the Art Ross, it's Jack Hughes. He had 62 goals and 110 points this season. For the Maurice Richard, it's Kyle Connor of Winnipeg with the 63-goal season and 103 points. For the Lady Byng, it is Wyatt Johnston of Nashville now. It looks like he's been traded multiple times over the years, as he went from Dallas to Edmonton to San Jose to Nashville. So he's certainly made the rounds of the Western Conference here, as Nashville, they look like they got to be pretty happy with him, as he had a 57-goal season and 101 points on the season and a 73 grade. Then for the Bill Masterton, it is Jack McBain of Utah with 11 goals and 28 points this season. But the Mark Messier Leadership Award is Mikey Burchild of San Jose, and he is once again not a captain. At 22 goals and 36 points in 60 games played. It was his first NHL season as well. And for the Jennings, it is Joel Hofer of St. Louis with a .917 save percentage in 69 games played. And for the Hart, between Jack Hughes, Kyle Connor, and Connor McDavid is Connor McDavid. But the Conn Smythe, it is David Spacek of Minnesota. So only 16 points in 23 games played for him. I wonder, let's take a look at Minnesota's scoring in the playoffs. You have Kulik, who leads the way with 20 points for them. Once again, another one of our former players there. You have Height and Kaprizov with 18. So it looks like they just had a lot of depth scoring this year. Something we did not have. As they also, it looks like they had their goaltenders split time in net, as Montembeault and Gibbons and Gustafsson all split the net for the playoffs, and they somehow got it done. And for the Calder, between Ivan Ryabkin, William Moore, and Michael Brandzag-Nygaard, it is Michael Brandzag-Nygaard of Detroit with 65 points. For the Norris, between Shimon Nemec, Vladislav Gavrikov, and Johnny Kovacevic, it is Simon Nemec of the Devils. For the Selke, between Paul Cotter, Kevin Stenlund, and Wyatt Johnston, it is Paul Cotter of Nashville. For the Vezina, between Igor Shesterkin, Joel Hofer, and Yaroslav Askarov, it is Igor Shesterkin of the Rangers with a .920 save percentage and 7 shutouts in 71 games played. For the GM of the Year, between Steve Yzerman, Doug Armstrong, and Barry Trotz, is Barry Trotz of Nashville with 57 wins. And for the Jack Adams, between Todd McClellan, Sheldon Keefe, and Andrew Brunette, it is Andrew Brunette with 57 wins. All right, we're on June 23rd now. Let's see. Are we re-signing any of these players? Doan, Kesselring, Geertsen. Doan still wants 3.8. I don't think we're going to have enough for him. Yeah, it's showing we're at 9 mil in cap going into next season, according to this. And that's probably less. Like, we may actually be in the negatives because we're currently at 81.2. And this says 23.8 available in cap, but I know that's not the case, because the cap ceiling should be 95.5, if I'm not mistaken. So 95.5 minus 81.2, that's roughly 14 mil. You subtract 23.8 by 14 mil, so that's roughly, 9 mil. Yeah, I don't think there's any way. We're probably over the cap ceiling. I mean, I would love to get Kesselring back, but the thing is that he only played like half the games. So Spencer Carberry, I suppose, currently considers him our 7th defenseman, and I don't know if I want to spend that much money for that much term on a 7th defenseman. And then Doan, he's currently making 1.1, so the contract that he's asking for would be a lot more than what he's currently making. So I think we're going to have to let Doan and Geertsen walk for right now as well. And then I guess Wood is going to walk too. So yeah, I don't think we're signing any of these guys here. Now, as for unsigned prospects, there's only one guy with a deadline this year. That is Griva. He's 22 years of age, 1-star talent, 2.5-star potential. Yeah, I'll sign him. And then who I also want to sign is Ivor Stenberg. He's a 2.5-star talent now, 21 years of age. He had 47 points last year in 60 games played. That offensive category is now really good. Offensive read at 18, puck handling at 18, positioning's at 17 now, very important. And then he has physical ratings are starting to get up there. Mental ratings are improving. I'm really liking where Ivor Stenberg is. So I think we're going to be signing him and bringing him over to Buffalo here. So there you go. Stenberg has been approached. Now, as for Aram Olsen and Eklund Asp, I mean, Aram Olsen has a pretty good offensive category. If it weren't for the passing and offensive read at 13, he would be a very good offensive weapon. But his defensive category is kind of mental ratings kind of physical ratings are good, but I don't know. He's like borderline. The same for Eklund Asp, honestly. He has a 17 offensive read. His offensive category is just overall very solid. Defensive category even is decent. Physical ratings are good. Mental ratings are kind of but it's like right on the cusp of, I feel like, being impactful at the NHL level. And then you have Helge Pedersen, he's up to a 2-star ability. It's actually only down to a 2.5-star potential. I'm not sure how that went down because pretty sure he had a good year. He had 37 points in 52 games played in the SHL, 66th grade. And I mean, he still has that 4.5-star consensus potential. He's got the 18 defensive reads, 16 offensive read, solid physical ratings. Mental ratings could be a lot better. But overall, I think Pedersen could end up being really good in the future, depending on whether he lives up to his team scouting potential or his consensus potential. That's quite a large gap there. So, I mean, I think Pettersson, even if he doesn't pan out offensively, he could still be a solid defensive player, especially with that 18 defensive read. But that said, I don't know if there's going to be a spot on the roster for Pettersson, just considering, you know, you have Thompson, Benson, Ostlund, like you have a really good offensive center core. And then the veteran Evans on the fourth line. But then you also have Stenberg coming over, right? So I don't think Pettersson is going to have a spot on the lineup. And nor would Eklund Asp for that matter. So I think I'm going to leave Eklund Asp unsigned for right now. I'll sign him next year for sure because I think that's when his rights are expiring anyway. But Aram Olsen, right wing. I mean, we do kind of need wingers. Greenway's getting older. He's at 3-star talent now. He only had 29 points last season. And then we're also letting Doan walk. So maybe I will sign Aram Olsen. Yeah, I think it might be worth bringing Aram Olsen over now. Let's give him a contract there. But besides them, I think that's going to be it for unsigned players that we are signing. And here's our 2028-29 season summary. We reached the playoffs at a winning season and a winning percentage of .600 or better. The longevity bonus of 3. Total season scores 22 and total career scores so far of 103. Put all 4 points into discipline, I think. All right, so we're on July 1st. Let's take a look at what we need. We have Levi and Linders in net. On defense, you have Dahlin, Evans, Byram, Faber, Marino, Morrow. That's 6 defensemen. I'd like to get backup defenseman, backup 7th defenseman. Then at forward, you have Thompson, McKenna, McLeod, Ostlund, Benson, Helenius, Nuchev, Greenway, Buryaskin, Lehkonen, Evans, Stenberg, Aram Olsen. So I think we're fine at forward. We really just need to get a backup defenseman, and that's about it, I'd say, at least in terms of holes that we need to fill. But let's take a look at upcoming FAs. We have Thompson and Ostlund coming up. Now, what is Thompson going to want? 8.9 for 3 years. Ooh, that's, I mean, he's worth it during the regular season for sure. But here's the thing. He's currently 31. He'll be 32 by the time that contract starts, and then 35 by the time it ends. Is he going to be worth it at that point in his career? I don't know. I mean, I hope so, but like I said before, even considering his injury that he had during these past playoffs, it might be worth considering at least looking at a possible trade for Thompson just to see what's out there. You know, maybe a couple of first-round picks or a solid prospect who's already well into his development, if not already NHL ready, right? So just something to consider. And then Ostlund, what does he want? He wants 4.9 for 3 years. I think I'll probably do that. I mean, Ostlund's been a very good player so far, especially these past 2 years. He had a bit of a shaky start his rookie season, 23 goals that year, but only 8 assists. So that's why I was a little bit worried about Ostlund at first. But now he's proven to me that he's not only a goal scorer, but he's able to excel in other aspects of the game as well. So Ostlund's been very good. I would like to re-sign Ostlund right now, in fact. So let's get that done. Start at $4 million. And I managed to get him down to 4.74 for 3 years. We'll do that. And then there's also Greenway, Byram, Buryaskin, Evans, and Marino, but I think I'll hold off on all of them. Because, I mean, really the big one here is Thompson, obviously. And I'm not saying we definitely are going to be trading Thompson, but we should at the very least consider what a potential package for Thompson could look like. Just considering his age and then also considering 2 out of the 3 of his past playoff performances. Now, obviously, this past season he was injured during the playoffs, so he was buried on the 3rd and 4th line for the most of the time, but still, that is something we should keep in mind. But with all that being said, this has been an eventful episode already, so I think we'll end things off here. But not before I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we go through the year 4 offseason.